So welcome back to a new series of e-commerce agency wisdom, what I wish I knew about whatever the topic is. Today I'm joined by Roddy from, are we saying reviews or are we saying clear? Is it clear?
Let's go with clear.io.
Okay, clear.io, noted. So Roddy from clear.io. And what we're going to talk about today is what I wish I knew about partner alignment. So I can speak on behalf of agencies. I know that one of the biggest bugbears that agencies have is that they're working with partners and it feels like a very one-sided relationship. And I would always encourage the agency to examine the partners they're working with to understand, is that what partner set up for proper partner tech to agency success? So I think that's a pretty good intro, right?
Yeah, nailed it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roddy. And scene. My name's Roddy Smith. I'm the director of partnerships over here at clear.io. We went through a rebrand last year. So under our umbrella is reviews.io, influence.io, viral sweep, address validator, boost, and rich returns, as well as a whole bunch of other apps. But those are the ones that we sort of focus on. I have been in e-commerce for nearly a decade across sales and partnerships. And yeah, I think like the biggest lesson I've learned is just that internal alignment. I think too many tech partners just look at their partners as a lead source, revenue generator, when yes, they can be, but you got to do a whole lot more before you can get to that point. And I think too many people, promise everything, leads, marketing, the whole shebang, when in reality, tech partners don't get as many leads as we would like to share to our partners. I would love to be like shipping them out like hotcakes because I know that's going to be the quickest way to build a partnership. But truthfully, not all of us get leads like that all the time. And so you got to look for other ways that you can make sure that you are aligned with your partners. And I think a lot of that comes down to your internal team, making sure that you have alignment with success, support, sales, marketing, product. You can add a lot of value to your partners by making sure that they're in tune with your internal teams. I mean, if we ramble through them, I think support is the most obvious one. We did a survey of our partners last year and asking them, what makes you the most excited? What do you look for in a partner? And the top two answers unilaterally, or I guess bilaterally because it's two things, were support and the product itself. Like, does the product do what we need it to do? And then, are you going to support me? Are you going to help me with it? If problems happen, we can edit that out. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear. Okay, I figured I was in safe company with you.
Yeah, you're in a safe space. We listen and we don't judge.
Okay, if shit hits the fan, you want to know that your partners have got your back. You want to know that they're going to be able to escalate that from get them out of tier 1 support and bump them into a developer in tier 2 or even tier 3. Because no partner wants to hear their tech partner say, have you tried turning your computer on and off again? That's just going to fill them with rage, because quite often your agency partners are tier 1 support. They've already done all the things that are like the sort of standard, the base layer to your support. So you want to make sure that you can push them through the cycle and get them their solutions faster. Rant over on support, but I think that's like one of the biggest ones in terms of like making sure that they're there that your internal team is there to sort of help you. The other one that I built a wee little integration on for our team, which was we use Intercom, and then all the support team, anytime the agency's merchant is in support, they just do #partnerships and it pops it into a Slack channel. And then we can reach out to the agency and say, hey, did you know beard.com was having issues with this? And they say, oh no, we'll reach out to them and we can help them. So you're giving your agencies a reason to reach out to their merchants. Maybe they're not working with them anymore, but they want a good reason to reach out to them, and you're teeing up some opportunities for them to sort of talk to them again.
Nice.
That's just one example of the internal alignment. I think from a product perspective, it's very much a two-way street, where there may be a bit more of a one-way street to our side, because agencies are on the bleeding edge of what is possible with whatever e-commerce platform they're working with. And they're going to be like the super users or the power users of that platform, and in turn, how your product works with that platform. So I found that the product feedback to our product teams that we get from agencies is massive. And I think from an agency perspective, it's nice getting them to influence our roadmap because they know better than we do. And if I can leverage their knowledge to push the product in a direction that's going to make their life easier, then it all sort of comes full circle and comes back around again. So those are two of the biggest examples. From a sales perspective, getting them in touch with our sales team and getting our sales team in line with what the agencies do, I think is another big one, because we can't handle an agency lead or opportunity the same way that we do an inbound one. Because I don't want the AEs to be emailing them every 2 days asking for an update, because if you annoy the merchant and that comes back to the agency, then you're biting the hand that feeds. So you got to be a lot more careful around it to make sure that we're respecting the agency's relationship with the merchant. But then additionally, the sales team can be a really good sort of lead source for our agencies if they understand what the agency is good at, what their forte is, and then I call them cries for help to listen to when they're talking to an agency. And so if the merchant says something along the lines of, I don't know, yeah, our reviews is working great for us, but we're just not getting that many generated through like our email campaigns, and say, oh, well then perhaps you should talk to our friends over at Anzen or Folium or insert email marketing agency here as a way to tee up those leads, because they're the ones who are talking to the merchants. My team doesn't talk to merchants, so we need the other teams that do to help us help the agencies. And I think it's that internal alignment that is going to make sure that your partner program succeeds. And I think that's something that agencies should be asking their partners about, is like, can I get in front of your customer facing teams? How do agencies work with your customer facing teams? What's your GTM process for success? Because again, it's another great example of success can find opportunities for the agencies. They can also find out about, if a merchant is unhappy with the agency. In the same way that we get info from the agency about the merchant, we can do the same and feed it back and forth. So it's all these little things that are going to allow you to make sure that your partnership is actually a partnership. Sure, leads in, leads out. Yes, that is the fundamental basis of a partnership. But there's so much more to that, and how you work with the partner, how you go to market with them, how you support them, even like down to sending them candidates for jobs that they're hiring for. All the things. There's so many little ways that you can make sure that you're aligned with your partners and helping them out.